Hi, developers. I'm Evan Vishy. I'm the community manager at Tatum, and I'm joined here today by Jan Palascak, founder and CEO at COIN, which is actually written CO2IN, but pronounced COIN. COIN is a virtual tool that enables companies and individuals to fight climate change by buying and trading emissions allowances that would otherwise be used by Europe's greatest polluters to produce more CO2. And we'll get more into exactly how that works in just a second. But first, hi, Jan. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty fine because I have just ended with some calls. We have some new release of the Coin apps.
So I did a little bit of background research on Coin and on you just to figure some stuff out. And I read something interesting in an interview. You said that you actually ran your first currency as a central banker when you were 8 years old and playing with older boys in the backyard. So could you tell me a little bit more about what that's all about?
Yeah, this was the first time I have realized what the inflation is. And then if you print more money, you are not going to be more rich, uh, because we have such a simple game that my sister was selling, I think, some drinks, and my nephews were also trading something, and cousins and so, and everybody has its shop, its business. The money were leaves from trees. We have started with some amount of the leaves, and we were trading, and the business was running some, let's say, some zero sum game.
Mhm.
And then then I have an idea to bring more leaves to the economy.
Mhm.
And we we have played a few more rounds of this game, and we everybody hasn't more leaves, but everybody was the same rich as before. So that was my first experience with inflation.
And so how did you get from backyard economy simulations to where you are today? What did your professional journey look like?
2007 and 8 or so. uh, and this was a time where renewables were starting in Czech Republic.
Mhm.
This was There was some first law set up for subsidy for renewables, and these were for good times, because I have seen that during 1 month the price of solar cells uh, decreased in summer 2008. Let's say in 1 month, maybe 10 or 15% or so.
Uh-huh.
And that was the moment when I have realized that photovoltaics will be probably the renewable of the future. So now I have started to develop some projects here in Czech with those subsidies. Uh, that was fine. 2007, 8, and 9. Then 2010, it was completely crazy. Let's say gold fever.
How from 2010 until starting Coin, yeah, what led you to want to start your own renewable project in this way? So,
Yeah. On the solar boom, I have reacted in 2011 with Ampere Market, uh, with a business plan to establish the first commercial virtual power plant operating renewable resources in Czech or in the CEE region.
mhm.
Um, uh, Ampere Market developed as an electricity trader, and I have sold it in 2018 as number four Czech electricity market. The electricity market is well operated in Czech Republic, but still it's not space where you can change the energy sector. It was second time I have felt some restrictions.
Sure.
And second time I have I am trying to reflect this, and that's how coin idea was evolved.
Yeah. So then to coin, what is it? How does it work? So we already mentioned that you can buy and trade emissions allowances, and therefore other polluters can't use these. Yeah. So please tell me a little bit more about that, how that works.
Yeah, it's not so complicated. Usually, if you want to make something sustainable, so you can buy green electricity, which was my previous mission, or you can plant trees or something like that. And if you want to make it comfortably and just to pay for this and to have some quick impact or maybe feeling of impact, so you can buy some green vouchers or let's say some carbon credits. And there is a huge activity the last 2 years on this field. A lot of projects all around. Some are very well developed. Some are including blockchain also, and technologies from big companies, including IBM blockchain and so on. But if you go through the stuff, or less, and correct me if you have another experience, but we do not have after 1 year and a half of researching. Or less, at the end, you will buy some credits or some currency, and your money shall be used for planting trees or existing trees preservation, or for some investment onto renewables or something like that. Also, it can be some investment into water resources in Africa or so. And all less, the authority which issues the credits or the currency is in the same role as I was in the backyard with the leaves from the trees.
Okay.
So it's inflationary. So coin is different in both of these 2 points. Coin is anti-inflationary, the same as Bitcoin, and coin is not quasi-investment fund as all the others projects, because coin is just investing into really official, not voluntary, but official carbon credits. That means that the investments are made on the state levels from the resources collected from the carbon credits. So it's not our staff, because this staff decide where to invest into trees, renewables, water, or so. If shall have some global impact, that means you are the ES Globe director, nothing less. And I think this is not possible. So investing is not our staff, and we have the cap. The number of coins is limited for now by number of European Union credit carbon credits, carbon allowances. So these two simple differences.
How does Tatum fit into this? So how have you used Tatum to help the coin project?
Yeah. So far we have implemented in the trial version, and also in our today internal release the banking ledger from Tatum. On this ledger are running all the operations. That means buying coins, selling coins, and payments and requests between the users in the community. And yeah, it's running very smoothly, and it's fine so far.
Why did you choose Tatum over other solutions, or what was the reason for that?
Yeah, because of good references, and I like it that guys from BRNO are from the very beginning also located in London. So I think we are very similar with the mindset and global targets and missions.
The question we always ask, and we'll ask it to you, is how would you describe Tatum in one word?
Deals enablers.
Deal enablers. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Actually, that's really good. Why would you choose those two words?
Yes, because it's operating very smoothly. It was implemented very quickly, and which is the best. So far, I didn't have to concern so much on this part of the solution because it's working, and that's fine.
So what is the future then for Coin? Where do you see things going, or what are your, I don't know, targets for the future or goals?
I'm pretty confident that sooner or later Coin will be more than just another offset solution, and which is my goal. It shall be more than some green or carbon solution for one corporation or one municipality or so. So this is the goal, to not stay just as some partial solution.
We wish you all the best of luck with it, and I hope Tatum keeps working as well as it has been for you. And yeah, thanks a lot for taking some time to talk to us. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure's on mine.
Cool. So thank you everyone for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below in the video. And please be sure to follow us on our social media platforms, also in the description below. And check out more about Coin. We're going to put their website link below. And yeah, thanks again, Jan, for talking to us. And hopefully we'll catch up again soon.